The history of the ocean, well, it's absolutely full of monsters, isn't it? Today, we are taking a deep dive into one of the biggest legends, the creature that terrified sailors for millennia, yet somehow remained almost completely invisible. We're talking about the giant squid.
It really is the ultimate natural paradox. We're looking at the largest invertebrate on the entire planet, a creature so successful. I mean, hundreds of millions of them live out there in the temperate seas, and yet for most of human history, pure myth. We genuinely knew more about the surface of the moon.
Yeah, and that invisibility, that's what fed the fear, right? You think about those ancient Greek tales of Scylla or centuries of Norse myths about the Kraken.
Exactly. They saw them as great sea serpents, the great calamari. Imagine you're on a small, ancient fishing boat. A massive, unknown tentacle suddenly reaches up out of the black water right next to you.
You'd think monster. No question.
Absolutely. But what we can do now is move past those stories, get to the hard biological facts. Our mission here is to really understand the evolutionary tools that let Architeuthis ducks, that's the giant squid, be so incredibly successful, so huge, and yet so profoundly hidden.
Okay, let's start with the size then, because it is genuinely staggering. We're talking about animals that can reach, what, up to 12 meters long? That's over 40 feet?
Including those long feeding tentacles, yeah. And weighing well over 250 kilograms, maybe even more.
Just try and picture that for a second. A large female giant squid.
Yeah.
She can easily be twice the length of an adult great white shark.
It's mind-boggling scale. And they're not just big, they're full-time hunters, carnivores roaming these vast temperate waters. You find them from the coast of Russia all the way down to Tasmania. They seem to skip the really warm tropical seas, mostly.
Mostly.
Well, mostly. They've still popped up near places like Hawaii and Florida, so they get around.
But the thing that really sells the alien nature of this creature,
Yeah.
it has to be the eyes.
Oh, definitely. They have the largest eyes in the entire animal kingdom. We're talking nearly 30 centimeters across.
30 centimeters. That's the size of a dinner plate, literally.
It is. And the science behind why they need eyes that big is fascinating. It's not just about seeing in the dim light down there. They're looking for very specific, faint flashes, bioluminescence.
From their prey.
From their prey, yes, other deep-sea fish mainly. But also, and this is critical, they're watching for the faint light disturbances caused by their main predators moving through the water.
Sperm whales.
Exactly. Sperm whales, those enormous eyes act like huge biological satellite dishes collecting the absolute faintest glimmers of light in the pitch black.
That's incredible. A massive visual system basically designed for hunting and threat detection in total darkness. Wherever they are, they're hunting.
And they are exceptionally well equipped for it. The hunt starts with those two specialized feeding tentacles. They can shoot out maybe 7 meters to snatch a meal.
7 meters. I can see how just the sight of that coming out of the dark towards a small boat would be enough to start a legend.
No doubt. But the real terror, the efficiency, comes from what's on those tentacles. They're lined with dozens of suckers. But these aren't just sticky pads. They're hard. They're serrated, ringed with chitin.
Serrated, like little saws.
Kind of, yeah. And controlled by powerful muscles. They generate incredible suction force, up to 100 pounds per square inch.
Wow. 100 psi. That's serious grip strength.
It is. And remember, these animals live under immense water pressure anyway. So generating that kind of force is, well, routine for them. It's designed to hold prey absolutely still.
Okay, so the tentacles grab, the suckers hold, which leads us to the business end, the beak.
Correct. Once the prey is secured, the squid uses this massive razor-sharp beak. It looks remarkably like a parrot's beak, but bigger than your fist. It uses that to tear the prey apart.
Bigger than a fist.
And even that's not the end of it. Inside the mouth, they have something called a radula. It's like a ribbon covered in tiny, sharp teeth. Think of it as, biological flesh graters.
Flesh graters, okay. So it's not just tearing, it's literally rasping the food down. That's vivid.
It gets the job done. But that whole arsenal, the long tentacles, the high-pressure suckers, the massive beak, it all serves a dual purpose. Because as terrifying as a giant squid is, it's also lunch.
Right. It's the main food source for the biggest toothy predator on the planet, the sperm whale.
And this is where the great irony comes in terms of how we've learned about them. We actually know the most about giant squid, not from rare deep-sea glimpses, but from inside the stomachs of the whales that hunt them.
Seriously, the best place to find a giant squid is inside a whale.
It's often the most likely place to find substantial remains, yes.
Yeah.
You can see the evidence of the battles on the whales themselves. Their skin is often covered in these circular scars from the squid's suckers. It must be an epic deep-sea wrestling match down there. But ultimately, size usually wins. The whale is the undisputed champ.
And the sheer scale of that predation. It's hard to get your head around. What was the estimate? Whales eat like 100 million giant squids a year.
That's the estimate scientists work with, yeah. A truly unbelievable biomass transfer. And because those hard chitinous beaks are totally indigestible.
Ah, right. They'd tear up the whale's insides.
They could. So the whale has this amazing defense. Its intestines secrete a waxy substance. It's called ambergris. This ambergris coats the sharp squid beaks, wraps them up safely so they can pass through the whale's digestive system without causing damage.
Ambergris. I've heard of that. Isn't that the stuff used in, like, really expensive perfume? Which seems weird.
It is exactly that stuff. And yes, it's bizarre. Fresh ambergris, well, it apparently smells pretty pungent and salty, like you might expect something from a whale's gut to smell. But as it ages, floating on the ocean, exposed to sun and salt, it develops this unique, complex aroma. And chemically, it contains something called amberine.
Which does what?
It acts as a fixative. It makes expensive perfume scents last much, much longer on the skin. It stabilizes them. Because it's so rare and effective, large lumps of high-quality ambergris can sell for well over $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
For whale digestive byproducts.
Yep. There are actually professional ambergris hunters who walk beaches hoping to find these floating blocks of biological treasure.
So the very parts of the squid the whale can't digest, the beaks wrapped in this valuable wax, end up being the key to understanding the squid itself.
It's strange, but true. Those partially digested remains protected inside the ambergris are often way more complete and better preserved than a squid that just dies, floats up, and washes ashore to rot quickly. It's this completely bizarre situation that gave us most of our early scientific data.
Okay, so predation tells us a lot. But what about the squid's own life? Its success, its elusiveness?
Yeah.
You mentioned its life cycle.
Right. Beyond just living deep, the key is its unbelievably fast life cycle. But first, just a quick point on how they stay down there. Buoyancy. They don't have a swim bladder like fish. Instead, they basically infuse their body tissues with ammonium chloride.
Ammonium chloride.
Ooh.
Like smelling salts?
Chemically related, yeah. It's lighter than seawater, so it makes them neutrally buoyant without needing a heavy gas bladder, which would be hard to manage at those pressures. It's a really neat evolutionary trick for the deep.
But there's a downside, right? You mentioned the taste earlier.
Ah, yes. The downside of being full of ammonium chloride is that it apparently makes them taste like suits. Well, salty licorice is one description, or just pretty gnarly. So nobody's fishing for these giants to eat them, which is probably for the best. Sometimes, though, if they get sick or injured, they might lose control of their buoyancy and float towards the surface, disoriented.
And maybe reach out a tentacle towards a boat, feeding the old myths.
Exactly. But the really, really shocking part is how fast they achieve that enormous size. They reach full sexual maturity at just 3 years old.
3 years, to get to potentially 12 meters long.
Yep. And here's the real kicker. Their total lifespan is estimated to be only about 5 years.
5 years, that's it. Compared to, say, a great white shark, which takes maybe 2 decades just to mature.
Precisely. The giant squid goes from a tiny egg to a 12-meter, 250-kilo giant in half a decade. And the females reproduce on a massive scale. They've been found carrying over 1 million eggs. This incredibly short generation time is fundamental. It means they can adapt very, very quickly to environmental changes, and their populations can bounce back fast. Even with all that predation from sperm whales, it makes them super resilient.
Even so, despite the huge numbers, this rapid life cycle, they were basically ghosts until really recently. We didn't even get the first confirmed photo of a live one until, what, 2002?
That's right, one that got stranded in a shallow bay in Japan. Then, in 2004, a camera trap caught one actually grabbing bait. But the glimpses have gotten better, much better. In 2019, NOAA got this really remarkable video footage. It showed this bouquet of arms, as they called it, slowly approaching the underwater camera rig.
Wow. What did it do?
It just sort of investigated it, gently touched it with its tentacles, seemed to realize it wasn't food, and then just melted back into the wall of darkness. Incredible footage.
It's amazing we're finally seeing them. But for all the mystery and, frankly, the star power of the giant squid, it's actually only second place, isn't it? There were even bigger, stranger things down there.
Oh, yes. The giant squid, Architeuthis stux, has a bigger cousin. The colossal squid, Mesonychoteuthis hamiltoni. This one can weigh up to 700 kilograms. That's more than twice the mass of the giant squid we've been talking about.
700 kilos. How big are its eyes? Still dinner plates.
Even bigger. Maybe closer to basketballs, honestly, though interestingly, its arms and tentacles are proportionally a bit shorter than the giant squids.
So why isn't the colossal squid the famous one, if it's so much bigger?
Purely down to location and depth. They live in the really cold, deep waters around Antarctica, even deeper than the giant squid generally hangs out, so they are incredibly difficult to encounter, even more elusive.
Okay, so bigger. But then there's the really weird one, right? The bigfin squid?
Ah, yes, the Magnapina squids. These are the true oddities, the real deep sea ghosts. They can get quite long, maybe up to 8 meters measured tip to tip, but they only weigh about 2 kilograms. They're incredibly light and ethereal.
2 kilos. For an 8-meter animal, what do they even look like?
It's their arms and tentacles that are bizarre. They have these distinct elbows, sharp bends, and then the rest of the limb trails down as these incredibly long, thin, almost noodle-like filaments, just drifting passively.
Bows and noodles. Sounds like something dreamt up, not real.
They really do look otherworldly. The sightings are extremely rare, maybe only a dozen or so confirmed encounters. But again, NOAA filmed one back in 2019, a 3.5-meter specimen, just hanging there at 750 meters deep. Even at that size, with those long, delicate filaments trailing below, it just looked fragile, almost unreal, suspended in the black.
Wow. Okay, so we've gone from the Kraken myths to the reality of the powerful giant squid, and now to these even bigger, or just plain stranger, relatives in the abyss. The reality of Architeuthis ducks, the giant squid, it really is far more amazing than any sailor's tale. A creature that lives incredibly fast, grows enormous, is a master hunter, but is also, a crucial food source for the ocean's biggest predator.
Absolutely. This whole deep dive just highlights how many secrets the deep ocean still holds. We understand the giant squid best, ironically, because its short, fast life allows rapid adaptation, and its huge size makes it a primary target for whales, leaving clues behind in ambergris. The sheer rarity of encountering the colossal squid, or especially the bigfin squid, it just proves how much more is down there, completely unseen, undocumented.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to ponder. We found real creatures, like the colossal squid, that are bigger than the mythical kraken. But we still depend, in large part, on sifting through whale vomit, essentially, to fully grasp their anatomy. Now, given that the giant squid we know lives maybe only 5 years, think about this. What new evolutionary tricks, what adaptations might entire populations of these incredible animals already be developing, testing, perfecting deep down in the crushing dark right now, before we even manage to film their complete, fleeting life story?